in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to the all new Elite FPL featuring myself this afternoon. Game week 26 has kicked off in full force, and we saw Everton beat Crystal Palace 3-1. Hope you enjoyed that game. How are you guys doing? Testing. Man Dylan, can you hear me? Everyone hear me okay? See me okay? I've got some cool new well, first thing I'm doing, so basically the purpose of the stream is to test out the new graphics that we've got, and the first thing I've noticed is that chat needs to be kind of just moved over a little bit, like there. Should be fine. There we go, that's a bit better. So yeah, How you guys all doing? Hello Chelsea Flyer, hello Paulie, Lord Zaha. Yeah, one of the few that's actually got Zaha in the team. You should be very chuffed with that. We got looking good. Says my shoe is. What's that? My shoe is not happy. Sorry, your name cut off. FPL Bix is there. Hey Jason, how's your week looking? It's looking good. The future's bright. Gameweek 26 has started off really well for me. I own Calvert-Lewin. He's going to get a bonus 2 up to 11 points. Great start. Not so good if you own the likes of Holgate or Gaeta. Steve-O owns Holgate, so he's probably not going to be very happy about that. But let me just show you what some of the things I've been getting up to. So this is the transition into the new main screen. So we've got my team here. Got Calvert-Lewin, like I said, on 9 points. Hope you guys like the new look. I think this is going to be the new look from now on. I personally think it suits our branding and the way we want to go. What was the thing you made? What was the thing you made you do it? What was the thing you made you do it? Oh, you're talking to someone else, Chelsea Flyer. Hey, Born for FPL. Yeah, the transition. Got a stinger now as well. Thank you. I wanted to make it cleaner, but I wanted to keep it kind of in keeping with our colours. And our colours are like black and green. So it just looks more like Elite FPL now. Before it was kind of all over the place. So yeah, I want to just do some shout outs, if I may, for our members. So we've had some, we've had some returning members. We've had some new members. We've had a lot of subscribers over the last few days as well. Some donations. They'll all be showing down at the bottom. So the channel supporters are the people that have given us a super chat or a donation in the last 30 days. And we've got members at the bottom as well. The latest member, Drezera. So Drezera has become a member now for 2 months in a row. Phil's been a member for 3 months, so thank you, Phil. Brew, thank you for your 3 months. Sydney Hammer, also 3 months. John Harris, 3 months. A lot of people with 3 months memberships with Resi Desi, Ramsey Sinclair, Anish Thakar, Boona as well, being a member for 3 months. So thank you to all of you guys. Juggernauts there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin gang, absolutely. And I tell you that it was, I think FPL Aguero, was it, in Discord, going crazy. I think he owns both Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Hey the Don, how you doing, man? Hello to Ari Hiroki. What am I up to? What are you up to? You're 2 months. Yeah, where are you? I literally haven't scrolled down that far. I don't know. It all depends on when your subscription renews. But I've just got the ones that renewed in the last 24 hours. So I was just reading those out. It was Coolio 2foots, was it? Was it Coolio 2foots? Well done to Coolio 2foots. I do apologise. Doing amazingly well there with his Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin double up. Yeah. Great start to the game week. Who's your captain, Coolio? Is it Salah? That's going to be good. Hello, Raw. Welcome to the stream. So, like I said, this is just to test out some of the graphics. We've got, go back to me. So, there we go. How's your game weeks going, guys, so far? We've only had one game. So it's weird, isn't it? Saturday, we've only just literally had one game. No 3 o'clock games, of course. The next game at 5:30, Brighton versus Watford. Now, if Lundstrom doesn't play for me, then I will get the mighty Cathcart coming off my bench. He's had no one played. Most people probably don't have assets playing yet, but that's it must have been quite nervous when you saw the likes of Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison scoring big. I don't think they're massively owned, so it's not to worry too much there. Holgate played 4 minutes, which is not great. Yeah, we'll go through what happened. So if we just scroll down to the game, so Everton, Crystal Palace, Calvert-Lewin getting a goal and assist. Richarlison also with a goal and assist. Walcott getting an assist, and Bernard getting a goal. But Benteke, of all people for Crystal Palace, with a Zaha assist as well. Gaeta with 5 saves. Pickford with just a 1 save. Bonus points for Charleston, bonus 3. Calvert-Lewin, bonus 2. And I don't know if Bernard and Benteke are sharing a bonus point. Someone can let me know that. I don't know that much. Sultan Said says that Calvert-Lewin should have had a hat-trick today as well. Really? Was he? I didn't see the game. I saw like literally highlights and clips on Twitter. That's all I got a chance to see, really. Hey Tobias, how you doing, buddy? Getting rid of Lord Lundstrom. Really? Is it time? Is it time to get rid of Lord Lundstrom? That is the question. Niraj in chat. Last chance for Lundstrom? Question mark. I think if he doesn't feature this game week, we're going to see him drop again in price. And to be honest, we got him in at 4.0, 4.1. We've made a lot of money on him. We've seen a lot of points come back for that very small investment. We've seen so many points from him. So it'll be gutting if we lose Lundstrom, but we can't complain. He's done us well. He's served us well. Can't believe Mr. Sitter in stoppage time. Really? Yeah, the guys I think it was Chelsea Flyer in chat said that he'd scored a 4th, and I was checking on SofaScore and all my little like apps that I've got on my phone. And I was like, there's no alerts. I was like, what is he doing? Is he trolling me? But yeah, Mr. Apparent Sitter in the final moments of the game. It's time to cash in on the value. It does look like that auto close, but I'm going to give it a little bit more time just in case. King Long says, is there anyone else from India here? We've got quite a few Indian viewers that tune into the show, King Long. So you may find someone else in chat. If not, on the replay, there'll be people as well from India. So give us a shout if you're from India. You bought him at 4.0 million. 4 million is just ridiculously cheap for Lundstrom, really, for where he was playing. Right, so let's just have a look to see how our cash league are faring. So going to the top, we've got Aman Dillon, top of the Elite FPL Challenge League, and so far he's on nothing. So no players playing. He's captain Salah, gone with a safe option. He owns De Bruyne, he owns Firmino, got Firmino, Jimenez, and Son, which I think could get him some points there. He's got a very strong, solid, balanced team, and that's part of the reason why he's doing so well, really. He's got points all over the place there. He's got Aurier, Baldock, Stevens at the back. All with favourable fixtures, you would say. So could be a staying on top of the Elite FPL Challenge League if it goes well for you. Haller on the bench, first sub. Obviously, wasn't going to start him away at Man City, but opted with a 4-4-2. So we'll go to the next team, which is the Oslids. Andrew Fong also hasn't got any points yet. Captain Aguero. So much like my co-host Steve-O, he's gone with Aguero captain. Notable picks in this team: Mendy. He's got Mendy, and Aubameyang, another notable pick. Obviously, didn't return last weekend. We'll be hoping that he does something against Newcastle. He's got Fleck in midfield, who has been returning like mad of late. Interesting. He's got Bolly, Williams, and Cantwell on the bench. We're having a head-to-head. Aman Dillon, we are having a head-to-head. We'll go over the Elite FPL Champions League as well, because there are some really tasty matchups today, or this game week, I should say. And the fact that I started off with 3 game week wins in a row to get to 9 points, and then all of a sudden everyone's caught me up. So there's all like 4 people on 9 points in my group alone. So it's literally wide open. There's no idea who's going to go through and who's going to be knocked out at this stage, which is crazy. We'll go to third place. We've got Joggernauts, who's in chat at the moment. Joggernauts has got Calvert-Lewin in his team. He's got 9 points so far, but he did do a -8. Joggernauts, what did you do? Your -8. What was it? Firmino in for Vardy and Mahrez in for Sterling. Oof. That could really pay off. He's vice captain Mahrez as well. Firmino against Norwich could easily get some. I mean, fair play, Yogonauts. If that pays off, you're a master at FPL, dude. You're a master at FPL. -8 though. So it's a really under pressure situation for you if they don't pay off. But you've got the main picks there. You've got Salah captain, which is going to be a safe captain choice this week. Got an interesting pick there with Bellerin. Would love to know why you've gone with Bellerin. Obviously, you think that they can keep a clean sheet there. You've got an attacking threat possibly there, and Martial still in your team. I'm going to be interested to see how you fare come next week. Really, with this team, it's going to be could be a mark of genius, like I said, or it could be a moment of despair. That team looks like it could be either. We've got Aguero FC, Mr. Anderson, 4th place. He had Digne play earlier today with 2 points. So a good friend of mine was actually asking about bringing in, taking out Lundstrom and who to bring in. And he was one of the players he was thinking of bringing in was Digne. And I was like, I don't know if I would bring in Digne. And I don't know if he did to bring him in. It'll be interesting chat with him later on if he did. What we got here, Kingwood, Bolle or Traore for next week. Traore, Taha. Always, I would go with Traore, definitely, out of the two. 700 people triple captain Richarlison. Really? Wow. Is that true? I have Digne and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm on 13. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why people bringing Digne in. It's just that, what is his fixtures like? Reds. That's the thing. Arsenal away, Man United at home, Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, Norwich away, Leicester at home, Tottenham away. You get him in purely for his assist potential. That's it. I wouldn't be hoping for many clean sheets from Digne going forward from game week 27 onwards, really. You got in Benteke? Really? Wow. That is Maverick. That is Maverick bringing in Benteke, to be honest with you. 97 triple captain Richarlison, according to the FPL Twitter. I don't know these figures, man. That seems really high, but fair play if they did. You're taking Digne out, yeah. I probably would. If you've got the luxury of doing that move without doing too many hits, then I'll do it, really. Let's look at Steve-O's team. We look through the top 4. We'll have a look to, actually, before we do that, we'll look at the Community League, because I know there's been some movement at the top of the Community League. We've got Goal at the top of the Community League, which is free for anyone to join. He's not had anyone play just yet. It's Captain De Bruyne and Vice-Captain De Bamyang. Wow. So he owns Salah, he owns Mahrez, but opts to Captain De Bruyne. So this guy is currently, wow, is 91st in the world, guys. 91st in the world. And he's going with that De Bruyne captain, Bamyang Vice. Whoa. That could see him rise. If De Bruyne does something, he's going straight up to the top 50. And Salah blanks, that is. Fair play. If you're watching this, don't know how to say that name. Mr. Moyanul Islam, if you're watching this, best of luck to you on that one. Let's see who else we've got here. Test team, please ignore. He's currently 288th in the world. He's from America. Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith captained Aguero, vice captained Salah. So number 2 in our community league has not captained Salah either. Got De Bruyne in. They've got Traore in. They're playing Traore. They've got Taylor and Duncan Kelly on the bench, but they've got the triplet with Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, and Salah. Maddison's still in his team as well. Ings, Jimenez, and Aguero. I think Aguero is going to rip it up this game week. I really do, guys. I think tomorrow, when I'm on with Steve-O, it's going to be a nightmare for me. I really do. I think he's going to get a massive point all. I hope it doesn't happen, but I've just got a gut feeling it is going to happen. Let's go down. This guy's in a lot of leagues. We've got third place, got Blood Clat Yang, Lo Jun Keat from Malaysia, I believe there. And he's gone with a Salah captain. He's also got Aubameyang in his team. He's got Haller starting away at Man City. Traore, he's playing... okay, so it's obviously going to have Soyuncu coming on. He's got David Silva in his team, and this guy is 1,251. When I see these teams, no, I'm not disrespecting anyone, but when I see these teams, I think, okay. And then I look at their rank, and I'm like, how is this? How? Okay. That just sums up my season. It just sums up my season. We got what will we know? The team news in 10 minutes. We will know in 10 minutes. Let us know, guys, what's going on with the team news. If it's true that Matt Ryan is ill, he'll be very, very happy chap. Who have you got in your? Who's your sub goalkeeper, the Don? Let us know about Lundstrom. But Brighton and Hove Albion versus Watford team news in 10 minutes, guys. What's this that's I'm saying about if that's not true, it's a ban? What's this? What's people saying in chat? Let me scroll back up. Button injured. Oh, I don't think that's going to make a single bit of difference, even if that was to be confirmed. Okay, apparently Matt Ryan is ill. Hello, YouTube vids. Welcome. Thank you for the kind words. Matt Ryan is ill. FPL Mechanic, where have you got that information from? Where have you got that information from? Is it from Twitter? An unreliable source or is it a bit of a rumour that's going on at the moment? We'll find out in a few minutes anyway. It doesn't matter. Not that we can do anything about it now. Bilal says, I'm so happy with Calvert-Lewin. Good 11 points to start off the game week. Absolutely. Born FPL's looking forward to Mupai starting. A lot of people owning Mupai, actually. Still. Right, because your Champions League opponent has Matt Ryan. Okay. That's fair enough. Let's quickly have a look to see what Steve-O's done with his team. I think it's not going to come to any surprise who he's captained. He captained the guy who I think he's going to do really well. He's captained Aguero. Aguero captain, Salah vice captain. He's got Soyuncu, Greenwood, and then Donker on the bench. I thought that Holgate wasn't going to play up until like the 88th, 89th minute or so he came on. 4 minutes he played. So he got 1 point from Holgate. So I was expecting Steve-O to have Soyuncu coming off the bench. He may still have Soyuncu coming off the bench if Williams doesn't play away at Chelsea. He's got Mane, Salah, Alexander-Arnold. Really nice triple up with Liverpool there. People mocking me for going with Alisson because obviously the optimal triple up is Salah and Mane, assuming they're fit. The fixtures are looking really good for them. But I just wanted Gaeta out, and turned out taking Gaeta out hasn't, necessarily been a bad thing. I don't see him getting any clean sheets going forward, and I do see Alisson getting lots of clean sheets going forward. I've still got it's like myself. I've got Grealish in as well as Steve-O. He's got Ings. Willy Bolly starting at home to Leicester. Don't really hold out much hope of Wolves keeping a clean sheet in that game, but looking at this team from Steve-O, I'm going to predict that his points are going to come from Aguero, Salah, Mane if he starts, De Bruyne, and Ings. Those players. So essentially, his three midfield options and his attackers. So I'm not gonna. Other than Alexander-Arnold, I don't really think his backline's gonna be bringing him much points in. I'll quickly show you what I did with my team. My team is pretty dullard. I just did the Gaeta to Alisson transfer. Lundstrom, I'm hoping he starts. Alexander-Arnold and Aurier. I'm thinking Aurier has got a good chance in that game to give me some attacking returns. Along with Son. My midfield, Grealish, De Bruyne, Salah, Son. And my up front three, Jimenez, Calvert-Lewin, and Aubameyang. Aubameyang, of course, frustrating to own. Hoping he does something at home to Newcastle. If he doesn't, it'll be his last chance. Honestly, it'll be his last chance. I'm not gonna literally have him in my team. What's he now? How much is he? 11. That's almost 11 million. Just sitting on my bench. Just sitting in my team getting me nothing. 2 points a game. I would have... here we go. Your team looks good. Thank you, Robert Moore. Is it actually confirmed that he's out? Is it confirmed that Matt Ryan is out? No way. Button and Ryan out at the same time seems unbelievable, says JJ Man 44. It does seem very, very unlikely, but if this is true, then that's going to have certain implications for people not fielding a goalkeeper. You have Ryan and Button because that was a logical, safe combination that generally, unless you're in like a twilight zone, generally wouldn't backfire on you. But unfortunately, this season to me has been like the twilight zone. It really is. It's crazy. You're doing a transfer right now. What? Because he's ill? Yeah, don't do a transfer now, dude. Don't do it. Some goalie Steele is apparently starting for Brighton. I'll take some callers on if you want to come on and quickly chat to me. Samir, good afternoon. How you doing, buddy? Can you hear me, Samir?
Yes, can hear you, Jason.
How you doing, buddy? You okay?
I'm alright. How are you, Jason?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Samir, what players have you had to play? Have you had any play?
Today, just Matt Ryan at the moment. But apparently he's not available. People are saying.
Apparently he's not available, yeah. That's what I'm being told in chat. A few people are saying the same thing now. And apparently Button is also unavailable. So it's going to be...
So I've run out goalkeeper for my fantasy this week. Both of them are out.
Who's your sub goalkeeper?
Button.
Oh, mate.
Oh, what a good beginning from a game week.
I think that I think it's just one of those where you can't get angry at yourself. You can't get angry because it's not a bad decision having those two goalkeepers. I mean, it's a combination that's been common through tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of FPL managers over the course of the season. I just think that it's just very unfortunate, really, really unfortunate. Just annoying. It's annoying. You don't get angry though. It's just like one of those things. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about the Button and Ryan. I'm just hoping all my other squad can get me points for this week.
Samir, who did you captain?
Salah.
You got him as Salah captain. Okay. And who's your vice?
De Bruyne.
Fair play. I've just got my team up here, and it would seem that I'm hoping that this doesn't make any bit of difference to my game week, but I've just realised that instead of De Bruyne being my vice captain, which I had planned on him being my vice captain, I've got my vice captain on Alexander-Arnold. So I'm really hoping that Salah. I'm really hoping that Salah does. Salah does play now and start the game. That's going to be interesting. If he gets benched or something, it gets rested for Shaqiri, and then I'm like sat there thinking, okay, I've got now Alexander-Arnold. It's not a bad vice captain, I don't think. We got in chat. What are you guys talking about in chat as well? Say again, Samir.
That is a good option for Trent Alexander-Arnold because the Norwich defense has been very weak, but I think he could at least get assist.
Samir, we've got some good news. Apparently, these rumours on Twitter are false, and Ryan does start. So you've got a goalkeeper starting, mate. Literally, the fake news has hit the Twitter sphere. There we go. That's what happens. You see.
Don't believe the comments. Never believe the comments, man.
Well, unless they're from a reliable source on Twitter that's been, in the past proven to be right, then I shouldn't be paying attention to these rumours until the cut off, an hour cut off. But Samir, tell me, can you just remind me what your team is? Can you post it or let us know where you are in the are you in the cash league or not?
No, I started fantasy I think last year, and I had my own league, and I might join next season.
You started it last year. You started fantasy football last year, did you?
Yeah, I started last year. Yeah.
Cool. All right, mate. No worries. Well, feel free to post it up. I'll quickly have a look through to see. I think I did see it last week, didn't I? But
yeah, it's the same team as last time. But
I've got it here, mate. I've got it here.
Right,
On Thursday night we saw it, didn't we? Let me just bring it up.
Yeah. All right.
Let's bring it up on the screen. There you go. So you got Ryan playing, so it's all good news. It's all good news. I see you there, Paulie. I'll get you in a minute. So you got Ryan, Gomez, Alexander Lascelles, Ali, Salah, De Bruyne, Traore, Abraham, Vardy, Ings. Really, I think that's really good, mate. I think it's really good. Did you do any transfers in the end, or did you keep it?
I think I told you in the previous stream. I think took our Lunchton for Gomez.
Yeah, it's fair play. Yeah, no worries. I see the reasons behind that. I think you'll have a good score.
I wanted to take out Kelly for Tanganga, the Tottenham defender, for 4.1.
Yeah, he's not nailed though, is he? I don't think he's nailed.
Yeah, so I never put him in, but I had no transfers. I had to pay him -4, but I don't think it's worth it.
No, I don't think it's worth it, mate. I really don't think it's worth it. I think you did the right move, and it's a decent team. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow to see how you're. Well, we won't know much more tomorrow, to be fair, but we'll speak to you the following weekend to see how your Liverpool triple up goes, and most importantly, really, Ali, like the likes of Ali for you, Vardy for you, Abraham for you. Lascelles, these players that you need to get some points to your differentials, really, aren't they, off the crowd? So we're gonna get them some points. But Samir, no worries, mate. I'm gonna bring in. I'm gonna be bringing a few guests in, so I'll speak to you.
Okay.
I'll speak to you soon, mate. Take care, dude. Bye. So there we go, guys. There we go. New graphics today. Purpose of the stream was to test them out and to go through what people have done in the mini leagues. Talk a little bit about the Champions League shortly, but we've got a few guests waiting in the waiting room. We've got Paulie here. Good afternoon, Paulie. I've just pulled you in mid conversation. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad. How are you, Jason?
Yeah, not too bad. Have you had a chance to check out the new graphics on the screen? Does it look appeasing?
Yeah.
Appeasing?
It looks smooth as well. So there were no lag or anything.
No, I've optimized everything. I've optimized the whole lot. So before I had browser sources upon browser sources upon browser sources upon WebM files with transparency on the alpha layers, and basically OBS was just thinking, I can't do all this. So what I've done is I flattened it all down. It makes it really fast, smooth, and basically just a lot more professional. But how you doing, Paulie? Anyway, you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. It's been weird game week, hasn't it? Not having any games at 4:30 on a Saturday.
Really strange. And obviously we've just got the team news in. Matt Ryan is starting for Brighton, so that's a lot of relieved people out there thinking that he was going to be ill. Also Button out as well.
Yeah, that's trouble, isn't it? We're seeing people who are not reliable, and then it just gets passed down through everyone, and they all panic. And
Paulie, do you take for gospel the early team news that you get on Twitter? Do you have reliable sources that you or do you think, you know what, I really don't care until past?
I've only got a couple. I've not got one for most of the team.
I mean, it only really matters for the deadline, doesn't it? To be honest.
Yeah. So I just wait until team news, and then I think, right, he's on bench. I'm gonna get him if he doesn't come on. I did do it with that when the Danny Ings thing happened, though. I did transfer him onto the bench, and then when we found out he weren't starting that game week.
I'm going to bring in Dan as well, because I know Dan's in the waiting room. Hello, Dan. How you doing, buddy? You all right?
How's it going? You good?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. You're on air with myself and Paulie, and thank you, Barry Watkins, in chat, letting us know how the graphics are looking. Switch back to this one because I'm playing around with it to make sure it's all looking good. So Dan, did you have anyone playing today? Let me just get your team up so everyone can see exactly who you've got. We're just talking about Saturday being weird because there's literally nothing going on. Do you like these? I think you spoke to Steve about this, but what do you think of this winter break in a nutshell, in one sentence?
You put me on. put me on the spotlight then, so to speak. It's a bit unorganised, really, because if they're going to have a winter break, then just have a winter break. But because of the TV channels, they've got to have some games on. So, like, as an FPL manager, it is kind of annoying because it just stretches everything out over such a long period. I think it's needed, like, with the amount of games that they've got and like the cup replays, and I mean, I can see why the other leagues do it, and if it helps like England in the Euros, then I'm happy about that. But yeah, it is strange how they're just having like a couple of games today and then a couple of games tomorrow. It is weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating for FPL point of view because we obviously want the game weeks to come by, so we can organise and plan for the next game week and things like that. It's exciting when we have the likes of a double game week. There was even rumours of a triple game week this year as well. Don't know if that's going to happen. I suppose it all depends if Man City get a postponement or something like that. But this whole dragged out game week for me is just like, it's never going to end. You know, we've still got majority of the fixtures playing throughout we've got tomorrow, we've got 2 fixtures tomorrow, we've got Friday. Then we haven't got a game till Friday. And then they're dragged out again. It's just literally the 17th of February.
Yeah.
It's the last game. It's ridiculous. But this is what we have to manage and play with, I guess. But you had Sidibe as your vice captain, by the way. What's going on there?
Oh Jesus, really?
Yeah. So,
do
you know what? If Salah gets rested, you're gonna be fuming.
Oh my god! Like I've been saying on stream when I've come on before, I've literally, I know it's a cool thing to say, like, oh, I don't care about FPL, blah blah blah, but I have given up basically. I've not got a ghost team, but I just literally, Jason, I looked at it this morning. I didn't even realise I had 3.5 million in the bank. I completely forgot about it, and then I was like, I used an industrial word, shall I say, and I was just like, oh, so I'll bring in Gomez. I got rid of Lundstrom, and then I thought I'd take a punt on Red, but I don't. Sometimes with the vice captain, I'm so focused on my captain, like Salah or De Bruyne or Aubameyang. I was thinking about that. I just forget. So I mean, Sidibe, since I brought him in, he's done nothing. But with this whole Lundstrom thing about the rotation risk, I just thought get rid, double up on Liverpool defence, and then I took out Hudson-Odoi and bought in Redmond because I just thought, you know what, Southampton have got some nice fixtures, really nice fixtures coming up. He looked really good in the cup game against Tottenham, and obviously he got 13 points in game week 24. So I was just like, I'm at that point where, like, do you know what? I would have probably overthought that move a few weeks ago. I just thought, I'll just get him in. I ain't really got anything to lose, so apart from rank. But
you say that you've kind of given up. Not a ghost team, but you feel like you're giving up. But surely you are looking to play for. I mean, in a sense, it's the same for me, really. I'm looking to try and end the season with a respectable overall rank, because now I'm actively playing the game. I want to always try and be in the top 250k minimum. Now, I felt a few weeks ago that was going to be quite hard, but I'm moving into the top 400,000 now. I think 370,000 now, or something like that at the moment. I think it's more than capable for you to hit the top 250 if you take the game if you look carefully at the game. Remind me, what chips have you got left, Dan?
So I've got the free hit. I've got triple captain, and I've got bench boost. So I've got,
it's perfect, left. Mate. Yeah, I mean, why are you giving up? That's my question. It's like, you're not, you're 1.3 million.
Be realistic, Jason. Right, I'm looking at the Torbay Elite League that we take very seriously. You're, what is it, 5 34, 35, whatever off the top four. I'm in 18th place. I've got 1,322 points. I'm over 100 points away from, or just under 100 points away from the top four. So it's just like, I feel that, I started the season, I had a decent start to the season, like for the first few months. And then I had 4 game weeks where everything just went wrong. And I think pretty much my season ended when I came on stream. It was a Friday evening and I took out Calvert-Lewin. I took out Traore. I bought in Danny Ings, who'd been on fire. I brought in Hudson-Odoi, which admittedly...
I think we just lost Dan. He's just left Discord. You're still there, Paulie, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get back in a minute. I think his phone's just dropped out. It happens. It's a glitch with the phone. It's it might have moved him into another channel, but yeah, mobile phones sometimes glitch out. So if you're hearing this, Dan, come back in. We'll drag you back in. But yeah, Dan there talking about his frustrations. We'll go to his game week history. You can see it's been up, down, up, down. Started off the season, he's hanging around the 800,000 mark. The highest he's been up to 445,000 back in game week 12. And then, of course, it's just been red arrows, the odd green arrow, but red. Now sitting at 1.35 million. But it is obtainable. You can get yourself at a decent position if you don't just give up. Like, lots of people just give up. I don't think you necessarily need to, unless you're just not enjoying the game. If you don't enjoy the game, then don't play the game. At the end of the day, it's supposed to be an enjoyable thing. Let's bring Dan back in. Dan, hi Dan. I've just been looking through your game of history, mate, on the screen. I don't know what happened. Your phone just kicked you out or something there, dude.
I went on a proper rant then, and it felt really.
Oh,
therapeutic.
mate, carry on. Look, repeat what you said.
All I said, I don't know where it got cut off, but basically I said that I took out Traore and Calvert-Lewin, and then that particular game week, Traore got 2 assists, played like Cristiano Ronaldo, away to Southampton. Calvert-Lewin returned away to West Ham. Ings did nothing. Hudson-Odoi did nothing, and then Calvert-Lewin's been returning consistently since then. Ings hasn't really done anything. I know he got the goal in the cup game a few days ago, but he's been kind of a little bit off form, maybe a little bit unlucky as well, to be fair. But yeah, that just killed it for me when I took that -8, and I bought Maitland-Niles, and that was just lunacy. So I think I kind of came on stream and I was like, trying to make some maverick moves just for a bit of fun, and then it just completely backfired. So since then, I've just been like, do you know what? My enjoyment of the FPL is Elite FPL, coming on, being part of the community and just enjoying it from that aspect. There you go.
That's fair enough, dude. I mean, I think like playing the game as you're playing the game at the moment, just keeping one eye on it, maybe not dedicating as much time and effort into it as earlier on in the season, because a lot of people can spend many hours a day tossing and turning over decisions. And
I think about it at night sometimes, and I think, I'm there, like, particularly after watching a live stream or whatever, and I'm thinking about players at like 11.
He's gone again, but we can kind of get the idea. But Paulie, remind us how you are doing in the Cash League. Whereabouts are you?
I'm not in Cash League. I didn't find
Paulie,
the channel until like game week 5 or 6. So.
Really? Oh, for some reason I thought you were with us like from like last year.
No, this season.
Paulie, have you got your team there? I just want to bring it up on the screen because I know you've got someone in your team that not many people own. Do you want to post it?
Yeah, I'll just do it on my phone now.
Yeah, cool, no worries. But let's bring Dan in again. Dan, what's going on with your phone, mate? It keeps kicking you out.
I don't know, because I'm on data, so I don't understand. It normally is perfectly reliable. And
is your phone screen turning off or something? It's just like closing the app down or something like that.
I updated the app earlier on actually this morning.
Okay.
So it's updated.
Fair enough. Okay.
And I don't know.
Fall asleep. Okay. So how many in chat had Dominic Calvert-Lewin? I see that Danielle Trubarak has got him in. Rebello says that he dreams FPL. Daniel also says that he's brought in Aguero for a -4. Now, I think Aguero, I keep saying it on like a broken record, I think he's going to do something major this weekend. And I'm really going to be anxious / nervous when I'm on with Steve-O tomorrow covering the Man City game, because, oh my God, he's going to be having a smug grin if he gets a hat-trick. Paulie, I'm just going to bring your team up now. You've got a player in your team who's a bit of an old. I recognise the name. He's graced my team once or twice this season. His name's Zaha. People in chat, people in Discord, pretty much said he was a waste, complete waste of space. He's not playing good at all for Crystal Palace. He did get you an assist. Are you looking to get rid of him? Or are you just going to stick with him and you've got problems elsewhere you want to sort out?
Well, one of them things where I actually tried to explain it to Steve, though. I put Zaha in as part of my wildcard. I didn't even have a logical reason why I did it. Apart from the fact that he had pretty decent fixtures leading up for the next 5 or something. I had 7.2 million and I just put him in as part of the midfield.
Okay.
And, I'm just going to keep him in, I think. For it to take him out, I'll have to take a hit, and I don't fancy doing that leading up until the blank game week, because Palace actually play that game week.
Yeah, they do play that game week. The likes of, obviously, Aubameyang doesn't. Are you going to be holding on to Aubameyang for the next couple and then shipping him out for maybe funding? I'm just trying to think, maybe an Aguero move in, or...
The 2 hour I'm getting out for the blank game week is going to be Aubameyang and the goalie. I'll lose too much value getting De Bruyne out. So then I'm going to bank the transfer from next week and then use the 2 free transfers for the blank game week 28.
Right, yeah. Born FPL says fair play, Paulie, having Zaha. You've not seen many teams. I certainly haven't seen many teams posted in Discord as of late with Zaha in them. It's obviously giving you some point. I don't think he's getting any bonuses at all, but he's got the 5 points for you. Are you happy with that? Are you happy with 5 points from Zaha?
Yeah, I am. With the way that Palace have been playing and looking going forward, because I watched the last game and then I was just questioning why I'd actually put him in. But the goal actually shouldn't have been a goal because it just went straight through Pickford. It'd have been a save.
Yeah.
Every other goal, he'd have saved that one. So I can't complain about an assist, though, can you, from a midfielder?
No, certainly not. What's your thoughts with Zaha, Dan? Obviously, he wanted to move away. He didn't get a move away. He's not really putting in performances for Palace. Well, Palace themselves aren't really putting in a performance. What's your thoughts with Louis Zaha?
Well, obviously... It's Wilfred Zaha, not Louis.
Yeah, that's Louis Zaha.
That's
the Man United player. Yeah, Wilfred Zaha. Sorry.
Good striker.
He was a brilliant striker. Brilliant. What's for tea? I need a cup of tea after that one. There we go. That'll be on a highlight reel somewhere. There we go. John Harris. There we go. He's doing some clips. That's
But yeah, I mean, going back to Wilfred Zaha, I did, when Paulie was saying, I know that feeling, like when you bring in a player, not really based on logic, just because you got like a bit of a feeling, and like obviously like today for Paulie, that's paid off. But Zaha, when I've seen him this season, he's just not really been anywhere near like last season, and maybe I think that transfer, obviously he wanted to go to Arsenal, and who could blame him? The best team in London and one of the biggest teams in the world. So obviously he wanted to get that move, and then he didn't, and he maybe could have gone to like Chelsea, and that didn't happen. One of the lesser teams in London. So yeah, I'm being a bit silly here, but it does seem his head's gone a bit, but he does have, let's be honest here, he has a lot of ability, and he can produce. He's a sort of dynamic player, and yeah, it can, it is a nice little differential to have in there.
Do you think that he needs to be in a team that's centred around him and his abilities, or do you think he can slot into a team that could complement him in terms of him playing on the wing with a talented, say, playmaker in the middle and a talisman up front that can slot away his passes. Or, I guess what I'm saying is, obviously, when he went back to United, it didn't work out. But at Palace, it seemed to do him well. But if he was to make a move, could you see it being in the Premier League? A team in the Premier League?
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously, when he went to United, he was quite young, and apparently he was knocking around with David Moyes' daughter, so obviously that might have not helped the cause. But I think last season he was just winning so many penalties. Palace, they play on the counter attack, and last season had some really good they won at the Etihad, they won at the Emirates. They had a really good performance at Liverpool where they scored 3 times, and he just he's the focal point of that counter attack and winning penalties for Milivojevic, which I've finally pronounced correctly. But yeah, maybe he could. I think it's just one of those cases where he could flourish in a new team where he can assist a striker that's going to be more potent. Maybe he could go back to Man United. You never know. I wouldn't be a bad move for United. I mean, or he could go on to Chelsea and just link up with more talented players, because he's head and shoulders above the rest of the players at Palace. I'm sure FPL lads will be able to say more about that. But
the chance of him being a Palace player next season, percentage-wise, Paulie?
I don't think he'll still be there. I think he'll move on in summer.
Yeah, I think majority would agree with you there. And fair play, Paulie owning him. He's still got. I like the Harvey Barnes pick. I think like me, Aubameyang. Dan's here now. Aubameyang, it's about time he starts to bang in some goals, isn't it?
He always bangs in goals. I know the last game week he blanked against Burnley, particularly the first chance he had.
Every time I get him in, mate. Every time I get him in, he doesn't do anything. And I get rid of him, he scores. It's mental. Well,
I don't know. I mean, he did have another chance in that game as well. The only thing you could say, I don't know, possibly sometimes at the moment, the weird thing with Arsenal is it's our defence is getting better. Mustafi got man of the match in that game, but our creativity is not being the best, and particularly in that game, the creativity wasn't there. He doesn't fancy Ceballos, and maybe. But Aubameyang did have a couple of clear chances. But I think I've got a good feeling against Newcastle. I know Newcastle have had some really good results recently, but I think he'll score against Newcastle.
I'm just going to bring the Brighton team news up if I can. Just give me a second, guys. Let me find it. Here we go. So we've got Ryan in goal, Charlotto, Dunk, Duffy, Byrne, March, Propper, Moy, Trossard, Gross, Murray. Your mate Murray starts. So Mupai on the bench, as a few people said a few moments ago as well. Thoughts on that? I mean, is that a surprise to people in the chat? Is it a surprise to you guys?
Never write off Glenn Murray. He scored last week. I had I had him in at the start of the season, which was completely ridiculous, but. He's just like that old warhorse that never dies. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, we're looking at the Watford team. I think there's not many surprises in that one. We've got Foster in goal, of course. Messina, Cathcart, Cabasele, Mariappa, Kapuri, Hughes, Defeo, that is, Decore, Pereira, and up front, Deeney. A few people mentioning Deeney, bringing him in. Could be a good week to bring him in. To be fair, I see Watford winning that game. I got the result right in that game earlier on, I think, as well, but I just didn't get the scoreline right. So yes, let's just quickly look and see what's going on in the Champions League. Paulie, do you know who you're up against?
Nick Harris. I'm in Group A.
Group A. You're in Group A.
Yeah, he took a -4, but he had Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I predicted Everton 2, Palace 0, and the result was 3-1, of course. I got 1 point on the score prediction game, and I got on with a 2-0 win to Watford in a moment when the game kicks off. Let me quickly get this up. Then that's 2 seconds. Doing it on the fly, guys. Do apologise. So we're going to Champions League. So for those of you who don't know, this is the competition that Llama drafted up. It's called the Elite Champions League. We've got lots of people in it. 16 groups of 6 teams, 10 head-to-head matches in each group stage. Top 2 from each advance to the last 32. And it couldn't be closer. And some of the tables are just ridiculous. So you're in Group A.
Yep.
So you're up against where are we now? 26, aren't we? Oh yeah, like you said, Nick Harris. So he did a -4. Did you know that?
Yeah, but and then he's got Calvert-Lewin as well. So I think he'll be on about a couple in front of me.
He's got Calvert-Lewin, eh? So let me just quickly have a look at see where you are. So Group A. So you're on.
Oh my god.
What's up, mate? What's up?
I hadn't looked at my Champions League group and I haven't got any points. That is quite. That is terrible. 0. Oh god.
Well,
Just
Paulie,
talk about Paulie's team.
Paulie, you're on 6 points. Are you confident you can? Well, you're going to say yes. I'm sure you're not going to turn around and say no. I'm going to be knocked out. But you've got Lynn FPL above you on 7, and then you've got 3 others on 9 points, similar to our table in our group actually. You got FPL Penguin there, FPL Anderson, and Emmanuel, also known as One Life Tucker TV. If you win this, I mean, depending on how they get on, you could be breaking into the top 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm only 3 points behind.
Yeah, I mean,
the first 3 games I'd lost the first 3, and the last 2 I've won have actually been against first and second.
Literally the opposite of me.
So the head-to-head tiebreak is like going to be equal with them.
Wow.
So it's still close. I think there's a chance.
There's always a chance. Absolutely. Let's quickly go through the groups. Rafi, Ali, Jane as Group B. Group C, Lee Osborne and Luke Williams are topping that. Steve-O outside. Oh God, Group C with Steve-O. Wow. Lee Osborne and Luke Williams literally destroying all competition in there. Steve-O in 3rd place with 7 points. He's going to need a win. He is going to need a win. We'll go to Group D, Alpine FPL, top of that bandwagon. Central's on 15 points. Wow. Ben Krellin, Spreadsheet King. 2nd place in Group D. We've got Tobias and Kieran Wayne in Group E, also dominating that group. Phil Potter there in 3rd place on 9. Group F, the Group of Death that was dubbed when we did the draw. When did we do the draw? Was it like Christmas or something, wasn't it? We did just after Christmas. Yeah, I'm top only on on FPL points. And Chaz, also known as Az from the Fantasy Football Scout. I had to speak slowly then because I normally call it Final Fantasy Scout. Don't know why I don't even play Final Fantasy. A man Dylan there who I'm up against, he's on 9 points as well, so this is going to be really interesting. This game week is make or break really for a man and maybe even for myself. John Harris there on 9 points, not having the best of seasons, but he's doing alright. He's keeping up in the Champions League. Going to Group G, Jordan and Abdul there, 1st and 2nd, 12 and 10 points. We've got Block FPL top of Group H with 12 points too. Simon Bellamy obviously started the season like a house on fire really, now down to 5th on 6 points, but it's still obtainable, still can easily catch up. Group I is Brew on top, Jake Bull 2nd, 15 points for Brew, Jake Bull on 10. What group are you in, Dan? Have I gone past your group?
I'm with Davey FPL. I think it's Group G.
Oh, we'll get to you, mate. We'll get to you. I think we've gone past it, haven't we? Group G.
For the best.
Where
I think
are you?
I've dropped down to the Elite FPL Europa League or something. I don't know.
I haven't seen your name. I don't think you're in Group G. You're not in Group G, mate.
Oh,
well, we're gonna get to you. We're gonna get to you, mate. Don't worry. Tom Cancel, top of Group K. Patrick Minali, 12 points. David Monday and David Stahl, both David's top of Group J. Still quite close there. Group J. Group L, we've got Vince Chapman, the Red Capes and Rich Clark. Peaky Pies, both topping the group on 13 points, so joint top. Andy from Let's Talk FPL. Andy there, he's 4th place in that group. We've got James Bang at the bottom. James Bang, of course, donating £100 worth of Bitcoin to the winner of this Champions League game that we've got going here. Firetog and Alan Wellsteed. Alan Wellsteed, top of Group M. 12 points. Firetog there with 9, along with Plavak and Sheldon Payne. Group N, we've got Philip Demovsky on 12 points. Chaban on 9 points. Again, very close group with Kurt and Matthew behind. We've got, here we go, this is your group, Dan. Group O. Group O, we've got Gabriel Ropp and David Kernahan on 12 points. And you are, my friend, well, not doing too good, as you said. I don't know how I can't put any icing on it. It's awful. But you can win every game now, and who knows, it could happen. Dave FPL there on in fourth spot on 9 points. In Group P, finally we've got FPL Mechanic and Vishwa up top on 9 and 12 points. With FPL Mechanic, half dozen cups is the team name, doing really well there. Davey P behind the 6 points, and Charlie Tikin Mo Salah on 6 points too. There we go. God, right. That's that done. That's that. We just glazed over the groups. Obviously, we didn't go through the matchups. If we were doing the matchups as well, we need a whole podcast dedicated just to that. But no real shocks today, other than Mupai being benched. I hope you guys do have some luck with your player picks. I know you have Paulie with Zaha, to be fair, because I wouldn't be expecting anything from him. But
yeah, Steve-O were questioning me about the Zaha for about 20 minutes. I didn't have an answer for it.
Well, I think it's hashtag play your own game, isn't it, Paulie? That's what it all boils down to.
Yeah, it's always good when it pays off as well.
Always good when it pays off, absolutely. So yes, I think we're not going to drag on. We're not going to drag on. I didn't want to make this a very long stream. I just wanted to just talk about what happened earlier on. Have some guests on. We haven't got a lot to talk about. Let's be honest. Gameweek 26 hasn't really begun yet. A lot of players haven't even played. What's up, Dan?
I was going to say you could talk. I haven't really talked about my team actually. Like just what people. I want to know what people think of Redmond bringing him in. That's all.
But Dan, I thought you didn't care about your team, mate. What's going on? I thought you said a minute ago you weren't bothered about your team. I've got you. What would you think about Redmond and Ings or Redmond and Fleck? I mean, Redmond's a good shout. It's a good enabler. I mean, you've got Mahrez as well, which you'd hope would play.
Yeah. I'm hoping Mahrez will do something tomorrow because I looked at the league and like not a lot of people have got him, so he's definitely a differential. And like the way West Ham been playing, I'm hoping that he'll come through.
Oh yeah, I mean if Southampton batter Burnley, obviously to Steve-O's detriment, and I know Steve-O's in the chat there. Hello Steve-O. Got new graphics. Look at these graphics, Steve-O. Ready? Boom. There we go. There you go. Boom. And also, I'll show you in a minute. If someone does subscribe, I'll show you. But yeah, talk to me about your Fleck pick and your Redmond pick. What made you go for Redmond then?
Like I say, when I saw Southampton play Tottenham in the cup game during the week, I mean, Redmond was just looking very dangerous, and he is that sort of player that's got that ability. Now, in terms of consistency, he can be quite frustrating, but I'm just thinking that even watching Southampton against Liverpool, I know they got tanked 4-0, but they played, particularly in that first half, played really well, and they had some really presentable opportunities, and Redmond, Ings sort of link up together. And the danger men for Southampton and the fixtures going forward for Southampton are quite good. So I just thought it gets to that point in the season, like when you just think, well, sod it, let's just go for his differential. Let's see what he does and let's see what happens.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, like you said, you're not having a great season so far. The only way this relegation form. The only way you're going to climb back up is if the popular picks don't do well and these outside picks do well. I mean, I would even go as far as say that Aubameyang as well, if he gets 2 goals against Newcastle, could skyrocket you up into the top 1 million. I know it's you might roll your eyes and think, wow, I go to 900k. But I mean, that's a good step in the right direction, surely, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah,
small
I think.
small gains. That's what it's all about.
Well, I mean, obviously, before I come with doing the channel or whatever, like I never really thought about my worldwide rank. It was only last season when we were doing it, and like I ended up just outside the 160k, and I was quite happy with that. And this season, it was like, oh, could I get top 100k or maybe top 50? And now I don't. Do you know what? I look at it on my app on my phone because I don't really want to see my rank up there, but I think that it just brings you back down to the rivalry within your, like the Elite FPL Challenge League and the Torbay Elite League, and just trying to finish above people that you know, really. So.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is the more you get to know people in your cash league or your mini league that you're in, the more the banter goes on. You get the friendly rivalries. You look at Davey P, look at Boona, you look at me and Steve-O. I mean, if you were in like earlier on in the season, it was kind of a bit of a sandwich. We were overtaking each other, and that's when the real fun happens. When you can, can brag about where you are in the table. Obviously, the fun starts to wane a little bit if the further down you go. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad options. I mean, Redmond, it's a wait and see, really. A wait and see if that was a brilliant move or not. It's either a stroke of genius or it's another Murray disaster for you, Dan. But I'm just going to quickly show Steve-O, because I know he's in chat. Are you doing any bets, Steve-O? Market saying in chat, and also Paulie wants to have a word with you about his Zaha pick as well. But this is our, I should say, take on the new subscriber alerts. When we get new subscribers to the channel, this comes up. That should hopefully work. There we go. And then if we get a super chat, this comes up. And then if we get a new member, this comes up. It's quite cool. But yeah, I don't want to make it too long, this stream. I know I'm not like Steve-O. I can't do 3 hours impromptu 3-hour streams. I think the streams are going for 1 hour and 10 minutes. So again, we haven't got a lot to talk about. Gameweek 26. It's barely started, so it's going to be the Brighton Watford game. I haven't got anyone playing in that game unless Cathcart comes off my bench for someone who I don't realise maybe Lunchroom might not play. So I'm not really excited about that game. The games tomorrow, on the other hand, are the games that I think a lot of people are going to be looking at, and the main one, of course, is the Man City game. Man City West Ham. I see that being goal fest. I really do. Dan, do you think the same? Do you think that game is going to be Steve-O, Smug Steve-O, the return of Smug Steve-O?
It could be the revenge of Aguero. How ironic! Like, I think it's going to be Murder She Wrote. That game is just going to be. I reckon it's going to be 6-0, 5-0, 5-0 Man City, because they're like a wounded animal at the moment. They lost to Tottenham. Minimum 4-0. Sorry to G-Wiz.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's going to be unbearable if I'm on with Steve-O and the goals are going in and it's Aguero. I'm just hoping that De Bruyne does. I know we both own De Bruyne. I'm just hoping De Bruyne is involved in them. But Sterling injured. Will Jesus play out wide? Which would cement Aguero being set through the middle, playing a full 90 minutes. Who knows? Sheffield United, of course, playing Bournemouth as well. Could Lundstrom come, King Lundstrom, or Lord Lundstrom, I should say, come and reward everyone for keeping him in that game? Who knows? But I think I'm going to probably end it here, guys, to be fair with you. And thank you for coming on, Dan, Paulie. We'll be back tomorrow, like I said. We will let you know the time that we're back tomorrow to go live for the Man City game. So it'll be roughly 20 past 4, I'd imagine. Roughly 20 past 4 tomorrow. And we'll be live to talk about what happened in the earlier game, Sheffield United versus Bournemouth, and talk about the Man City game. So, guys, I hope you have a great evening. Thank you for joining me, talking about what we talked about. We just glazed over what was been going on, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Take care, guys. All the best. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Paulie.
Yes.
No problem.